Hi everyone. So there is another Excel BI challenge, Excel challenge number 936, and we need to solve this problem with Power Query. It's more proper for a solution on Power Query. So there is a given data on column A, and we need to change this data to answer expect list. First surname and first name, then ID column needs to be listed. So when I look at the data, there are a lot of delimiters. There are multiple different delimiters, and because of this, when I go to the Excel and selecting all of the given data, Control T, then going to the data tab and click on the from table and range. When I go into the Power Query editor, and as I told, every row there are some delimiters, and I need to split all of those delimiters. Then I can get a list, and then I can move on for the required table in order to get the required table. So I'm going to do this on a separate table, tablet column function. I will use tablet column function, then the source table. The new column name is going to be X, and I will do this apply this function on each row. I need to use text split any. Instead of text splits, I need to use text split any because there are multiple different delimiters. And I will apply this function on data column. And it says that, in the definition, in the explanation of the text split any function, need to write the separators as text, because of this I'm using these marks. Those are the quotation marks, and I'm writing all of the scene delimiters within the quotation marks. So the delimiter slash, there is slash and open parenthesis, closing parenthesis, and there is a multiply sign, and there's ampersand. All of the delimiters are written in here, and additionally space is also a delimiter, and it needs to be included in within this function amongst the delimiters. So I'm closing the parenthesis of the function, then I'm getting the list, and row by row I could able to get the list. And when I look at the list, after the splitting function is applied, I see empty cells. I need to get rid of those empty cells, and because of this I will use the records. I will define the first step as X. At the end of the text splits any function, I will close the parenthesis, and I'm getting the records. I want to see within the records, so I'm at the end of the rectangular parenthesis, I will use X because I want to see the step X. At the next step, for the next step, I need to press Shift Enter, and between each step I need to use comma. This step name will be Y. I want to remove the empty cells, so this is a list function because those are lists, as you see, row by row. So list remove items will handle this problem, and the list as list, first list is those lists which is on the X step. and the other lists will be in the curly brackets and empty cells, because I want to remove the empty cells, and the definition of the function says that this needs to be list as well. So I'm writing them inside the curly brackets, because curly brackets recognize this empty uh, empty cell as list. So I use the curly brackets, and I want to see the step Y. I could able to get rid of the empty cells. After that, when I look at the answer expected, there are 3 columns. So this means that we need to turn those lists to a table, and that table needs to have 3 columns: surname, first name, and ID. So when I look at the data, the list, when I look at within the list, this is the surname, first name, and ID column. Surname, first name, and ID column. So I need to apply a split on the list, and I need to split those data after three rows. After I pass 3 rows, 1 2 3, I need to take this, starting with Do, Jane, and their respective ID column to here as another column. So to do this, first I need to, this is step Z, and list split needs to be applied, and to this list split needs to be applied to the previous step with 3, because as I told, answer expected has 3 columns. We need to tablize, we need to turn the list into a table in 3 columns. So I need to see the step Z, and I could able to turn those one for when I go back to step Y. When I look at the first row, row number 1 2 3 is going to be a list, and number 4 5 6 is going to be another list. So I could able to do this with step Z. When I look at Z, as you see, this is the Smith, John, and their respective ID, and this is Do, Jane, and their their ID number. So I did it with each row, and after that I need to make those lists as table. So I will do this on another step. I will use table from rows function and apply this to the previous step. I want to see step Q. So I could able to get table. I could able to turn the list to the table in the desired format. I can also define the column names. I'm using comma after column as any, it says that, but I need to write the column names within list. So because of this, I'm writing a curly bracket. The first header name is surname. The second one is gonna be name, first name, and ID column, ID, and this is step Q. So table headers are written as well. I want to expand these tables, so we are very close to the solution. I will remove the original data, and after that, as you see, the answer expected is provided with this solution. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.